we promised you. So let's be clear on the agenda for today. Let's be clear on the agenda for today. What are we going to do today, or what are we going to learn today? First, write your first Java program. And once you write it, what are you going to do? Save this. Then what is the third step? Compile this. And then what is your fourth step? Run. But why do we need to do all these four steps? We should have some end goal, right? Today, I'm setting my goal as print my first Java program. Okay, I want to print my first Java program. This is my actual intention. So to achieve this, I'm using the language called Java. So what I'll say is print my first Java program. I will say using Java. So yeah, we are clear. Today our agenda is, at least for the first few minutes, or for the first some time, I have to print my first Java program using Java. And to do this, I need to do four steps. One is to write my Java program. Next is to save the Java program. Third is to compile the Java program. And my fourth step is to run the Java program to see that did I achieve my target or not. So without any delay, let's go step by step. So first step is to write the Java program. Now, to write the Java program, where do I need to write it? I need to have a particular software. So I'm choosing a software called Notepad++. Okay, so I'll say Notepad++. So Notepad++ is a software. How do you get it? How do you install? Where do you get it? All these details, maybe I'll be explaining you, but in the further session. But for now, I'm directly using this Notepad++. So I have installed Notepad++ in my Windows operating system, which is my laptop. So how do I get the already installed program? Here on my bottom left, I see the Windows start icon. I click on the start icon. In the search bar here, you can see the search bar, right? I'm typing Notepad++. So it has suggested me Notepad++. You can see it over here in the bottom. What I'll do is I'll just directly give a single click, single left click. So here you go. This Notepad++ software has launched. Now, I have to write my first Java program. Yesterday we have written that, but let's do it step by step again today. So what is my goal for today? To print my first Java program. So for this, how are we going to achieve this? By writing a Java program. I'm using Notepad++. So in Notepad++, we need to write a Java class. Okay. So what I will say is class. Let me increase the font. Class. I want to write a class name, right? I have to name a class, right? Let me give a proper name. Let me write it as my first Java, or maybe I'll say my first program. I will just say my first program. So here, if you see guys, my first program, M is starting with capital. There is this F starting with capital. There is this P that is starting with capital. This is called as naming convention. When you start writing Java programs, right, you have to follow few naming conventions. You cannot just do anything just like that, right? So this is called as camel case. Camel case means every word starts with capital letter, but a class name should have the first character also in capital letter. So let me try to write some notes as well for you. I will write, these are a few, what I can say, some bullet points or maybe points to remember. I will say class name should start with capital letter and follow camel case convention, right? So I just have it so that we this is a point that you have to put in your brain, guys. You have to put it in your brain, saying that when I write a class name, it should start with a capital character following the camel case. So yes, I've written that. I've written that in the notes as well. Now this, if you see, Notepad has given us uh, a few languages support, right? I am dealing with Java language, right? So what I will do is, here there is a language tab. I have clicked it, and when I go to J, I can see an option to choose Java, right? What I did, I clicked on language, I came to J, I'm able to see Java. Let me write it down so that we'll not forget it. So what I did language, Java, no, J and Java. I selected the language as Java. Okay, this is what I did. Now we are good, all good. Now I have started my Java class. I've given it a particular name. Let me try, let me complete writing this one. So I'm opening a curly brace, and the moment I open, I have to close the curly brace. So guys, this is very important. This should always be in pair. When you open something, then you should close that also, or else compiler will throw an error, which we will be seeing, further ahead in our class today. So I've written my first class, named it. I selected the language as Java. Now, what is a class, by the way? Class will have two important components like data members and member functions. Understand what a data member and what a member function is, please do not worry, because that itself is a class that is worth 2-3 days. So I will be taking those, I will be covering those in detail. But for now, you say that you have written a class to achieve your target, which I have already set at the beginning in our agenda. Now, in my class, I started with a opening curly brace and a closed curly brace. Now I will be writing main method. So how do I write it? What is the syntax? It is public static void main. I'm opening a curly brace and I'm closing it the moment I opened. Let me put it to the next line so that you can read it properly. Here it will accept string array of arguments. So by the way, guys, what is public? What is static? What is void? What is main? What is string? What is this open and close curly brace? What is this args? What is this parenthesis, or what is this bracket? Everything will be covered as you grow further or as you move further in your classes. But for now, you just understand that we have written a class and we have written a main method, so that this method is useful for us in achieving our target, which we have already set in the agenda, right? What is that? To print my first program. Now, before this, let me put this in the notes also. I just want to put this in the notes so that we do not miss it, or I can revise it later. So what is one more thing? A class should have public static void main string array of args. We can come back to it. Now, what is the next thing that I'm doing? Now I want to print something on console, right? I will say system dot out dot println, right? I want to say system dot out dot println, open parenthesis and then close. Now what I want to print? I want to print this one, my first Java program, right? Let me try to write it. My first Java program, my first Java program, right? This is my first Java program. Cool guys, what I did, I've written a new class. I've given a name based on a particular convention. I know that I have to write main method so that I can achieve my target. To print, I'm using this something called system.out.println. So system.out.println is the statement that is used for printing on console. Let me write down in the notes. What is that? We use system.out.println to print on console. Right. So now we have done whatever we wanted to. We have written a class, named it, written a main method, and then did this. Now let's go back to our agenda. What I said, write the Java program, select this. Now, my step number 1 is done, guys. We have already written the Java program, right? Now, we need to go ahead and save this Java program, right? How do we save this Java program? This is also an important step that you have to be well aware of. Now, let me go ahead and want to save this. So how do I do it? I go to my Notepad++ software. Here you can see a red color, new one, red color. This is the file name, by the way. It has given Notepad++ has given a temporary file name saying new one. So I do not want this. I want to save this file. So what do I need to do for that? I should click on file. I should say save as, and I have to give a particular name to the file. But before this, Windows even asks, where do you want to save this file, by the way? Right? We should give some location to it. So for this, what I want to do is maybe I want to just create one, what I can say. So this is my desktop, guys. This is my desktop, which is clean. There's nothing over here. What I do is I do the right click, right? I say new, I say folder. I want to create a new folder. Maybe I'm calling it as Mercy. Okay. So what did I do? I came to desktop. I created a new folder called Mercy on my desktop. Let me write it down so that I will not miss it, so that everything would be there for us. Okay. So what is that? Right click, right click. After right click, I'll say new folder. After that, I'll say Mercy, which I'm doing it on desktop. Okay. Right? Now we are very clear. Now, at least I know that, okay, I want to save on the desktop. Now I have my Notepad++ open again. What I will do is file, save as, and where do I save? I come to this in my left pane. If you can see, there is a desktop. I clicked on desktop and I created a folder just now, which is 2052. Just now, which is 2052. That folder got created. Let me open that. There's nothing over here. And here I have to save this. Here I have to save this. But again, there is one more convention that we need to follow of how to save the Java file. All right. So let me go to notes and write what is that important point. So how do we save? Save file name as name. So there is something like the file name should be the class name, or in other words, maybe I'll put them in a different wording over here. What I say is file save as. File name should be this one, class name dot Java, right? This is the pattern that you follow to save the file. So here we go. I go to file, save as. What is this? My class name is this. So instead of writing it again, what I do is I click on my first program 2 times. It got highlighted in the green. I say right click. I say copy. So when I say copy, my RAM has this text copied already. I will do the same thing once more. File, save as. And where am I saving, by the way? I come to desktop. I have a folder called Mercy that I created just now. And here in the file name, there is a text box, right? There I'm pasting whatever I have copied. I'll say right click and I say paste. I say right click and I say play paste, right? And one more, what we saw in our note is class name dot java. We have to save it as dot java extension. So what I did, I pasted my class name. I'll say dot java. That's it. I'm clicking on save. So if you can see here, my first program.java got already saved. Let's cross check that. Let's see if we really have saved a particular file in our intended location. Here on desktop, we created a new folder. I'm going inside Mercy and I see my first program already got created when it is 2055. Now the time is like somewhere around 2056, 2055. So we created it just now. So guys, one more important step is what we have completed. Saving is also completed, which is one more milestone that we did for now. Now, there are 4 steps. Now we have completed 50% of what we wanted to achieve, my first Java program, right? Let's go to the third step, which is again a very easy step. Now, what we have done till now is we created a class, written a system.out.println inside a main method. Now we need to compile it. What is the way to compile? So let me write down the command for you. I will say Java C. Java C is like Java C. Hey Java, please compile. What do you want to compile? I should compile class name, class, sorry, name dot Java. Right. What I will say is the compilation step is I need to use this command Java C class name dot Java. That's fine. It's very simple. So where do I need to use it? There should be a software that allows me to compile a Java program, right? That software that I'm using right now is the command prompt. Guys, command prompt is given out of the box in Windows. Even if you use Linux or Mac, you would be having command prompts. So in Windows, how do you open a command prompt? This is not a new software that we need to install it, by the way. So I will say, let me write it down here. Use on command prompt, right? So here, there is this Windows. What I will do is I will just click on search. When I say search, I will say CMD. You can see the CMD. When I say CMD, there is this black color screen that is visible to us, and that is a command prompt software that is given out of the box in Windows. What I will do is I'll just click on that. So here you go. There is this command prompt that got popped up. Let me increase the font for you guys so that you'll be able to see it properly. Let me give you a few more enters. So this is called as a command prompt. Using this command prompt, we will be compiling our Java code. So what is the command? It is Java C class name dot Java, right? So let me try to write that command. Or before that, first, let me go to the folder, right? What is there in this folder, guys? We have created a Java file saying my first Java program, and there is only a single file. Now, what do I need to do? I should say Java C. There is my file name. What is my file name, by the way? My file name is my first Java program. I will double click on it so that it gets highlighted. I'll say right click, copy. And once I copied, what I'm doing is Java C. I need to paste my Java program name or Java class name. I am just saying right click. So this got pasted. Let's go back to the command. Java C class name, I should say .java also, right? So the command says I need to use .java. Let me use that .java. So when I say this, let me click on enter.
Could you please increase the font?
Okay. Guys, if you can see here, we got some weird error saying you are saying my first program.java, the file is not found, which is fine. The reason is we are asking the command prompt to go and check in a different path, right? But we have the file in our mercy folder, right? If you see, we have created a new folder called mercy and our program is in this. So how do you open command prompt in this particular location? Let me open it once more. In this particular location only. So what I did is I opened mercy, a folder that I created on desktop. Now on this address bar or a kind of text bar that you can see, I have just highlighted. I just clicked on it and this text got highlighted. I'm deleting everything. What I do is I just simply type CMD, nothing else, CMD, and I'm clicking on enter. Now, guys, if you can see this, here it says users and desktop and mercy. It is in this folder, right? Previously where it was?
Yeah. Could you please
Pre
increase the font? Okay. Yeah.
yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So now we
A
are
little bit more.
on,
Little bit more. Yeah.
okay,
More and more. Yeah. Perfect.
sure. So if we are here, we are on desktop and mercy, right? Here we are on desktop and mercy. So we are on the right location also, by the way. So now let's go ahead with our same command. What is our command saying? We should compile using javac class name dot java. So let's follow that. What I'll say is java c. What is my class name, by the way? Let me go and copy. Right click, copy. I copied it. When I just say right click, it just gets pasted over here. I will say dot Java. So did I follow the naming convention? Let me cross check. Did I follow the naming convention or did I follow the correct command? Let me cross check. Yeah. So here you can see Java C, my first program.java. My command says Java C class name.java. Okay, this is fine. Now let me try to see how it looks. I'm just clicking on enter. So you can see this, guys, there is nothing over here, which means here it is an empty space. There's nothing over here, which is an indication saying I don't have any problem. My step number 3 is complete, which says my step number 3 is complete. Step number 3 is complete, which means compiled. How do we verify that we have actually completed the step number 3? After we do this command, we will say we will get a new file which gets generated dot. We can see something like this. Class name dot class file generated. So what it says, class name dot class, a file gets generated. Let's see if that actually happened or not. I'm going to my desktop. Here you can see there is my first program. This is my class name and its extension is class file. So it means when I do Java C and I run my command, there is a new file which gets generated, which is a class file. Let's confirm if we are if this is actually working or not. What I'm doing is I'm trying to delete this once more. So what I'm doing is I did right click and I clicked on delete. Now there's nothing. Let's try to run once more and see if it is actually behaving in the way it intended. So what I did is what is the command? Javac class name. What is my class name? I came here, I say right click, copy, and I did this, I pasted it, dot
Yeah.
Java.
Give some enter also. Yeah. Give some enter. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Hmm. Now, let me try to delete this and just show you if we are actually able to. I clicked on delete, by the way, guys. So I just deleted my file. I just wanted to cross check if we are able to get the .class file or not. So what is the command? Java C. Class name I already copied, .java. So when I click on enter, here you can see there is nothing. There is no error which says we are successful in compiling. How do we cross check? We go to the same path. We see a .class file getting generated on this particular path, which gives us one more sigh of relief because we have completed the step number 3 successfully. So out of 4 steps, guys, we have completed 3 steps. We are almost getting near in achieving our target for today is to print my first Java program. So let's deal or let's go to the final step in achieving our target for today. What is the command to run? It's very simple. It is Java, and then the class name. I will say class name, class, sorry. So I say Java and then class name. Let's try to see if that works. Okay, let's try to see if that works. I am just clearing. CLS is the command that actually allows you to clear all your history previously. So I'm giving you more enter so that the people watching in mobile can actually see it better. So now what is my command? Java and then file name. File name, how do? I go to my file. I just say double click, again to right click, copy. I go back to my command prompt and I just say right click. So guys, let's cross check. This is Java, my first program. What is our command saying? What is our command saying? Our command is saying, how do you run it? Java and class name. So it means we got the syntax right as per our theory. Let's try to see if this actually works or not. I'm just saying enter. And here we go, guys. The target for today has been achieved. The fourth step is complete and we are able to see the first program
There is
running.
a spell mistake. Yeah. First program. Yeah. Typo error.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, thank you. So first Java program. Okay. So yes, good that Shashi pointed out. Let's see. Let's see. Now I made some modification to this line number 5, right? To this line number 5. Now maybe let me quickly revise. Now okay, let's keep this output handy. I'm saying I just selected this. I did right click, which means it got copied. Let me just let me just paste it in our notes just for our reference. Okay. I pasted it over here. Okay. Now what I did is I just corrected it. FIRST. I just corrected the spelling. Now what do we do is let's follow the same steps once more, guys. What are the 4 steps? We need to write the Java program. Okay, Shashi sir has corrected. That's fine. I've written the Java program. Step number 1 is done. I need to save. How do I save this? I just go here. I go to file. Save as is already done. Now save is disabled because it is already saved. Right. So this is how we save. Like for example, let's say I give some more additional modification. I go to file. I can save this. I can save this. So there is the save enabled, right? So let's say I just come back again. I go, there is this red color, which indicates that I did not save. Now I go to file and save. So I saved. Now let's go to the notes once more. What I did, first Java program is written. I've saved everything. Now I need to compile using these commands. Let's do that. I need to compile using these commands. I've come here. I'll say clear screen. I have given more interest so that you can understand what is our command. Java C file name.java. What is our file name? I just go here, right click, copy, javac file name dot java. So before I enter this, right, let's even do one more thing. I'm deleting this dot class file. I'm deleting this dot class file so that this command should produce as a dot class file, right? We can verify that also. What I did, I came here, right click, and I say delete, right? Now we don't have this one. Now I'm clicking, I just click on enter for this command. Now you can see we don't have any compile time error. We don't have any errors whatsoever. So which means we should be able to see the dot class file. So you can see this, guys, we have the dot class file already. That's fine. Now, what do we do? Our last step is to run. What is the command for running? Let's go back to our notes. Let's see what is the command for running. It's a Java and class name. So what I'll do, I'll say Java. So what is my class name? By the way, again, I go to this, right click, copy. I'm just saying, I just pasted this Java and class name. Let me click on enter, right? So now again, we are able to see the output. Now let me just copy this, right? Let me just copy this, copy. And I want to just cross check what happened previously and now. What happened? If you can see this, guys, this was a mistake that I made, the spelling mistake, which even compiler doesn't know because whatever we tell it, it says, okay, I'll write it. But here I corrected it. The first part is the one I followed all the steps. I did all the steps. I'm able to print this. My second one is my correction. I followed all the steps and I'm able to achieve the target. So guys, just a revision or just whatever I wanted to say over here was our intention, or when we started our day, our intention was to print my first Java program. For that, we had 4 steps: to write a Java program, to save the Java program, to compile it, and to run it. If we do all these 4 steps, we can achieve our target, right? And how did we do it? We used a few bullet points or few points to be remembered. Where did we write it? We have written that over this in this notes. So while writing Java code, what we thought is, or what we remembered ourselves, a class name should start with a capital letter and it should follow the camel case convention. What is camel case convention? A camel case convention is nothing but every word in the string should start with a capital letter, right? So this class convention says you start it with a capital letter and then follow the camel case convention. We followed it. We have to write public static void main, which means it is a main method which would be understood by Java, thinking that, okay, there will be something inside it. I have to execute it. Now, there is one more point that we had to remember, right? If you have to print something on console, then you need to use system.out.println statement. Did we use that? Yes, we used system.out.println statement. So whatever you give inside this is the one that is considered and it would be printed on console. That's it. One more thing that we had to remember is save the file name as a class name. There is a naming convention. I named my class as my first program. And what is the file name? The file name is also the same, my first program. So using conventions and using steps, we are able to print our first Java code, or I can say the string that we intended on console, which completes the first agenda or something that we can celebrate, saying that these 4 steps are the ones that we have to put in mind to achieve what we wanted for today. Uh, so guys, we can play around with this. Now, what we have done is we have achieved our target of printing my first Java program. Now, let's try to simply play around with these things. Now, what I will do is the same things I will try to do once more. Now, what I will do, I created my first Java program. I want to create one more program, which I'm going to name as my second Java program. Let me try to do it. Let's follow the step-by-step procedure. Let's follow the conventions and let's see how we can do this. So first, what do I need to do? I should write my Java program. For that, I need to use Notepad I already opened, and I need to follow these instructions. Now, let me go here. So I want to create a new file. I'm clicking on file and I clicked on new. All right. So I need to write a class my second second program. Okay. So now for this one, I want to select Java. What do I need to do? Language, J and Java. We have written this over here already. What is that? Language, J and Java. I came here, I've selected that. Now let me try to open the parenthesis. As I told you, if I open the moment I open, I need to close it because I don't get confused whatsoever towards my end. So now I'm clicking on enter. What is the next thing that we need to do? We have written that in the notes. We have to say public static void main string array of args. Let me try to write a main method which says public static void main, and I can say string array of args. Args is nothing but a variable name which I'd be telling you all the details in the further classes. But for now, you have started writing your second Java program. I've written a main method, and inside this, I want to print system dot out dot println. So what I want to print? My second Java program. I again, whatever you want to print, you have to write it in this double quotes, which means it indicates as a string, right? I say my Java program, right? What I did, I created a new class. I created a new file. I came to my language. I selected Java, created a new class, used the camel. I started with first capital character. I used the camel case. I named my class. I have written a main method. I've written a system.out.println statement. And with this, I'm done. Now I need to save it, right? So let's go to the notes. Let's see how do we
Yeah,
save it.
in println statement, a second spell mistake.
Okay.
Second in println statement. Yeah, good. Thanks.
Okay. Cool. So now we have written this one. Now let's say I have to save this, right? What is my next step, which is save. So how do I save it? As I told you, file. Since this is the first time that I'm saving, I need to save it using a convention. I've written it already over here. What is that? Saving. I should save using classname.java, correct? I should save using classname.java. And what is the navigation? File, save as classname.java. So before I go till there, I want to copy my class name. I double clicked on it. It got highlighted in the green. I say right click and I'd like to copy this one. Once I'm able to copy this, I'll say file, save as. What is that? I should remove whatever is there in this box and I should say right click, paste. When I pasted it, what is my naming convention saying? File name, or I can say class name dot Java. That should be the file name. Here we are naming it. So I will say dot Java. So once I'm able to do this, I'm just clicking on save, right? So we have done our second step. You can see this. What is the second step? First step is to write the program. Second step is to save the program. Let's cross check if we have actually saved it or not. I'm going to this folder and I see my second program. There is a Java file with Java extension got created, right? We do not have a .class file yet. The reason is we did not complete the step number 3 yet. So since we have completed the step number 1 and 2, let's quickly go to the step number 3. So what do? I'll clear. Okay, so I'm just giving an enter so that you can read it better. So what is my command, guys? Let's go to the notes. Let's see what is the command. Command is java c class name dot java. Okay, that is fine. Let me go to my Java program. I'll say double click. right click, and then copy this. Now, what is this? Java C, and then file name, which I have pasted it, dot Java, right? This is the command that we have already seen, which we have written in the notes also. Let me say enter. So when I do this, you can see there's nothing printed over here, which means our compilation is successful. So how do we confirm that our compilation, the step number 3 is successful? By seeing if a dot class file got generated or not. If a dot class file got generated or not. It is generated, which means our step number 3 is also successful. Step number 3 is done. Now our fourth step is to see if we can actually able to print it or not. Let's straight away go. I'm going here once more. So this is my previous what do you call command. Let me clear this. What is my command now? Java and then class name. I already copied the class name, right? Once. Let me go here, right click, copy Java, and then I say right click. So my class name got copied over here, pasted over here, and I say enter. So you can see this, guys, my second Java program, which means we have written one more program using the same steps. The first program took us a bit more to understand the conventions, etc., etc. And we have, written the second program just like that. So I want to even play more with all these things. Before that, in a little bit fast forward mode, I would like to take the same in the third Java program also. All right, let's do this quickly. Now, what should I do? Let's follow the same steps once more. First, I have to write the Java program. For that, what should I do? I should say file, new. There is a new file that got generated. I have to say class, my third program. Okay, so I've written a class called my third program. What I did next here, what I did next, I selected the language as Java. So for that, the navigation is language, J and Java. Let me do that quickly. Language, J and Java. I did that quickly. So now let me open the parenthesis. Let me close the parenthesis. So what is the next thing that I need to do? I've written that already in notes. Let's go here. I need to write a main method for it. Let me quickly write it. Public static void main, sorry, public static void main. I should say string array of arguments. So again, I need to open the curly braces. I need to close the curly braces. As I told you guys, if you open, you have to close it because you get confused, like if they're open or not. So I'll be telling you what will happen as I play around after this program. Okay. So here I opened my curly braces. I closed my curly braces. What do I need to print? I should say system dot out dot println. So what is this? My third program. I have to write it. My third Java. Okay. My third Java program. My third Java program. So what I did, I've written a Java class using the camel first character is the capital, and using the camel convention. I've written the main method. I've written system.out.println, and I completed my Java program. So which means my step number 1 is done. So I need to come to the step number 2, which means I have to save it. So how do I save it? I will copy my Java class name, right click, copy. I will click on file, save as. So I am in the same path. I have clicked on this file name section, removed everything, and I did the right click and I pasted this. Now I'm saving it with the .java extension because my rule says that I need to save it as class name.java, right? So let me do this and I save this and done. Now my second step is also over. My second step is also over. Now let me go to the third step. What the third step says, I have to use this command to compile. Now before this, let's confirm if we do not have the dot class file for my third program, there is no dot class file. Only for my second and my first it is there. Let me go to my command prompt now. Let me clear the screen. Okay. So here we go. Java C, Java C file name.java, right? So I'm copying my file name and I'm pasting this dot Java. Let's cross check if our notes are saying the same thing. Java C class name dot Java. That is right. Now, when I say enter, right, there's nothing written over here, which means I don't have any problems. I don't have any errors whatsoever. Now my third step is also done. Now I'm heading towards my last step, which means to run and see if I get the desired output or not. So I go here, I'll say Java, and then I go to my class, right click, copy, and I just paste it over here and I say enter. So here you go, guys. The third Java program is also printed. So the emphasis that I want to give over here is these are the steps that are very important for us to create any Java program, run it, and get the confidence of how it is working or what is happening, etc. etc. So with this, we are able to create 3 Java programs. Our first 3 Java programs have been completed and we are able to successfully compile them. We are able to successfully run them. Let me add a few things to it. Let me add a few things to it to make you understand a little bit more about whatever we dealt, till now. Now, I am opening my first Java program. I'm opening my first Java program. So what I will do is I will just say clear this, clear this. I am going to my D drive. I'm going to the place where I actually have saved. Let me delete the dot class file. I say click on it, right click, and then delete file. Yeah, delete. Now I have deleted the first Java program. Now let me just quickly compile Java C, and class name.
Yeah, you can delete all the class, all the files also. You can keep only one file so that you know
Yeah, okay. I think it would be even better for the students to understand.
better. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Correct, correct.
let me remove everything whatsoever. Right, I have only one. Now I have selected multiple files, guys, and I say delete. You can see this. I have only one file right now, and which is my first Java file. And this is the file that we have actually first written in our session today. Let me try to quickly compile it and see, if it is working fine or not. Java C, and I go to my, I'm copying the file name. I'm just pasting it, and I say .java. Okay. So when I say enter, there are no errors, which is fine. So how do I check if there is no compilation? I get a dot class file generated. Okay. I get a dot class file generated. Now, let me quickly try to modify this file. Okay. So I will say I want to print one more statement. So what I did, I came to line number 5. I just selected the text that I want and I say right click copy. I just copied this. Now I say enter and I want to paste this. Right click paste. Okay. I'd like to add something over here. Added new line. So I just have added new line over here. Right? Let me see. So I'll say file save. Okay. Let me see what happens now. Let me see what happens now. So what I will do is I will again go here. I delete my dot class file just for our reference. I'll say right click and I will say delete. Okay. So let me quickly go to my command prompt. Let me clear the screen. Okay. So it says Java C. What is my class name? My class name is my first program. I say copy this and I'm coming here, pasting it and say .java. When I do this, let's see what happens. So let me check if we get the .class file generated, which is very good. We got the .class file generated. Now, what is our command to run? It is Java class name. We already copied the class name, right? Now, I just say enter. Now, here you go, guys. My first line got printed and my second line also got printed, which means which at least gives us an indication saying that we can print multiple lines in a single Java program, right? So let me just quickly try to add one note over here, right? What is this note? It says multiple can be printed in Java program, or I can say Java class. Okay, just put it in your mind that we can have multiple lines that we can print, or even to clear it even better. So I will say I have copied this line. I say right click copy. I'm adding it, and I say paste, and one more. I'm adding it. I say paste. So new line. I'm just modifying this. I'll say one. I'll say two. I'll say three. Okay. So the same thing that I did, I just modified my first Java program. What I'm doing is I'm saying file, save. What I will do again is I will delete my .class file. I'll say right click and then delete. Where's delete? Yeah. I'll say delete. Now let me go to my command prompt. I'm clearing my screen, right? So I go here, Java C. I'm compiling this now. I go here, copy my class name, paste it over here and say .java. Great. There is no compilation error. I'm able to compile this. Now I'm able to see that a .class file got generated. Now again, simple. How do I run this? It's a Java and then file name, right? When I say enter, you can see this. My first line got printed and I have written three new lines, which means the rule that I've written or something that we can put it in our head is multiple lines can be printed in a single Java class. Now, this is all good. This is all positive scenarios, or this is a happy path. I was saying a few things to you guys, right? What is that? If I open a parenthesis, I should close it. If I open a bracket, I should close it. If I open this square bracket, I should close it. And I should have something called a semicolon. Okay. I'm saying that, and I'm writing all good code for you. Now, let's say I'm a bad coder and I did not follow some conventions, or I did not, do the things that are actually mandatory for Java compiler to understand. Let's see what happens. Okay. Let's play around. I just came here. I'm deleting my .class file right now. Let me write some bad code for you. Okay. So what is this? Let me write some bad code for you. What I'm doing is on line number 5, I'm just deleting this semicolon. I just deleted this semicolon. And what I'm doing is file, save. Let's see what happens. Let's do the same thing. I'm clearing this. Okay. So Java C. And what is this? My file name. Right click, copy, and I have to paste it over here. Dot. Let's see what happens. Or you can even have your guesses in your mind. And I'm just saying enter. If you can see this, previously when everything was good, everything was hunky-dory, this was having an empty space, but now it says you are having an error, by the way. What it says, Java on line number 5, you are expecting a semicolon. It says on this particular point, you forgot to write a semicolon, because of which I'm not able to understand what you have written and I cannot do anything with it. When Java compiler says it cannot do anything with it, what will a Java compiler do? It just creates one .class file. Did it create? It did not. It is saying I have an error. I cannot do that for you. So what should I do to correct this? It is saying, you just go to this place and add a semicolon. It is so very descriptive. Let me try to follow whatever the compiler says. It says Java
Uh,
5. Okay.
Karthik, could you please little bit stress about if compilation error means it will not create the dot class file. Could you please explain it again?
Yeah, okay, sure. Now, uh, let me come to the point where everything was good, right? So my semicolon is over here. Let's say I'm saving this. Okay, I save this. Now, using these steps, let me compile Java C and say my first program. I say copy and dot Java. Okay. When I do this command, when I use this command, what my note says is Java C this one. So when we do this, a dot class file gets generated. Let's see if that is happening or not. I just say enter and I can see that yes, my dot class file got generated. Okay, this is what compiler is saying. I don't have any problem in generating a dot class file. My my step number three says if compiler's duty is to create a dot class file. All right. If compiler doesn't have any problem, it will go ahead and do that. Now let's say compiler is having some problem. So as I told you, I'm writing some bad code over here. Line number 5, I'm intentionally removing this semicolon. So I removed it and I just say save as, and I'm just saying save and I saved it. Now what I will do is I will delete my dot class file. So what I do, I just deleted my dot class file. Let me delete this. I delete it. Now I have to follow the same steps to see if compiler has any problem in creating the dot class file. Will compiler create a dot class file if it has some problem or not? Right? Let's see. Here I come. Java C file name. Let's say copy dot Java. Okay. When I do this, this is my command. Now let's say I click on enter. Here it says, suppose you have an error. You did not add semicolon and you were not able to put over here. But if you want to correct, you come to this point on line number 5 and add a semicolon so that you can correct it. So compiler is saying because of this error, I'm not able to do my duty properly. What is its duty? Its duty is to create a dot class file. Let's see if it has done its duty or not. I went to my folder and I see that it's not able to create a dot class file because we are having some error over here. So in that sense, what I want to stress over here is if there is any problem in the code that you are writing, then your step number 3 will give you a problem and you cannot proceed to your step number 4. Step number 3 is a mandatory thing that should get successfully completed to come to the step number 4. Our step number 3 is having some errors that we can see on the console, because of which we are not able to proceed further. What is the problem? The problem is we are not able to see a dot class file getting generated. So if there is any problem in the code, we do not see the dot class file being generated by the compiler. Now, let me try to correct. Let me try to correct whatever compiler had told me. Now, let me go here. I will go here. It says go to line number 5 and add a semicolon. That's fine. I understand what compiler says. I came here and I have added the semicolon. Now, let me just say save. And when I save this, let me check. Let me check. Let me check now if I'm able to do the step number 2 properly or not. Right. I'd say Java C. And then here I go. I copy this, copy. I say dot Java. Right. Now there is no problem here. Everything is empty. Let's go. Oh, you can see this, guys. A dot Java file has no problems. So a dot class file got generated. Now let's try to make a little bit modification of this program. Little bit modification similar. So what I'll do is I'll delete my dot class file. I'll say I delete my dot class file. I've done that. Now I missed the semicolon, right? I was even telling you if you miss any of the opening or closing braces, that also is a problem. That also is a problem. I'll say save this. I'll say I save this. I save this. Now I save this. Let's try to see the same steps once more. I'm saying clear. Okay. So I came down Java C. Before this, let me delete the Okay, we don't have the Java file. We already deleted that. Now Java C. So what is the file name right now? I say right click, copy. I say dot Java. So when I do this, let's see what happens now. And here it says reached end of file while parsing. It is saying on line number 9. Go to line number 9 on Java. Line number 9 on Java. I came till here. Okay. And I came to the end of the file, but I was expecting something else. I was expecting something else. So which means it was saying that it reached the end of the error and end of the file while parsing. So it means it is actually giving you an indication that boss, you are missing something. If you correct only, I can proceed further and create a dot class file for you. By the way, did it create the dot class file? You see this? It did not create the dot class file. Let me quickly correct it. Let me quick, sorry. Let me quickly correct it. Let's say I'm adding it. I'm saying file, save. When I do this, I do not have the dot class file already. I'm clearing all my screen. Okay. So I go here. I say Java C file name dot Java. And there you go. There is no error whatsoever. Now let's confirm if the dot class file got generated or not. And yes, it has the dot class file generated. So one last thing that I want to say over here, guys. Okay, one last thing that I want to say, at least for today's classes. Now, our step number 3 will give you some problem when uh, when you do not write the code properly. Now, what about step number 4? Now, what is the command for this? Java and class name. Let's say I go here. Let's say I go here. Right. What is the command for running the what do you call running the program? Guys? It is Java class name. Right. What is my class name? My first program. Let's say I click on enter. So you can see this. All these are printed. Now I gave some problem, or I gave a wrong one. Okay. I gave a wrong class. Let's say. What is that? Java. This is the running this thing, by the way. My first program, or I will just say I just added some extra M. Let's see what happens. Let's see what will happen. When we say, it says could not find or load the main class of my first program, which has two M's. So class not found exception. What the runner, or the software to run this program is saying is you should be having a class called my first program, which you did not have it, and I cannot find that class. So it is actually saying that if you do not give me the proper file, proper class, proper Java class, I cannot run. I cannot do anything for you. Which means it's an indication saying that even if we are able to compile everything properly, if we are able to create the Java file, if we are able to save it properly, if we are able to compile it properly, the fourth step also, we should actually follow this convention to get the actual desired output. So which means from step number 1 to step number 4, everything should go hand in hand to actually get your final result, which is to print your desired statement. Guys, I think we are almost coming towards the end of time. So I think this should be enough for today. Mm, maybe Shashi sir?